Nick the Wrecking Ball versus Sam, I'm going to call him Sam the Aussie Goodman. This fight was actually probably the fight of the night. Very, very good, well contested fight. Sam Goodman done a lot better than I anticipated. Done a lot better than I thought he would do. He blatantly won the first 3 rounds. I'll definitely give him that. And after the first 3 rounds, Nick Ball started to close the gap in terms of who is actually winning the rounds. Everything started to get a bit close in terms of who's winning the rounds. Sam Goodman kept composed. He absorbed a lot of the punishment that was thrown at him quite well. He was defending quite well. He had a lot of good blocks, good movement. Foot movement was very, very well done. His punch selection was quite good as well. I'd say his punch selection was a lot better than Nick Ball's punch selection. He was throwing a lot of straight jabs, straight backhands, coming up with the uppercut, a few hooks to the body here and there. But for the most part, he was definitely keeping up with Nick the Wrecking Ball, who we know how Nick Ball fights. Very come forward, pressure, shots from kind of all angles. But for me, I think he kind of got exposed in this fight in terms of the angles that he chooses to use and the shots that he chooses to use. He gets quite comfortable throwing the same uppercut hook selection. And he was finding it difficult to find his ground in this fight. But he ended up getting to grips with what was going on and not being worn down. He carried on with his relentless pressure, but he didn't know any other way to crack this puzzle. So he just carried on going forward, throwing his uppercuts, throwing his hooks, throwing to the body, to the head, constantly. And Sam Goodman done very well to keep up with him, especially up to round 5 and 6, where he then started to slightly slow down, and Nick Ball's powers of persuasion with his come forward pressure fighting style basically won the fight for him. I don't think he won the last round. Well, to be fair, the last round was very close. I think the scorecards were terrible. I think the scorecards were absolutely terrible. I would say that this fight would have easily been a draw and everybody would have been fine with it. Even if you gave the fight to Sam Goodman, maybe people would have been fine with that, because for me, it was very close. If Nick Ball won the fight, it was by probably 1 round or 2. Like, for instance, it was probably a 7-5 type victory. 115, 113, either way would have been okay with me. I can understand. There were so many close rounds. There were so many close rounds where it was hard to call the round. I would have very much hated to be a judge in that situation. But where there's close rounds, the house usually tends to favor the home fighter. The judges usually tend to favor the house fighter when the rounds are close. So with that being said, I understand how Nick Ball got a lot of those close rounds. But for me, it was never like 8-4, 9-3, 10-2. Never that. And the way that these judges scored it, apart from the one judge who gave it 115, 113, the other 2 judges who gave it 117, 111 and 118, 110 suggests that they only saw Sam Goodman only win 2 or 3 rounds. Nah. He won at least, in my opinion, he won at least 5 rounds in that fight. It was very close, very well contested, a lot of action. And Sam Goodman's tough because when the fight was finished, he didn't look like he had been in the fight. His face was quite clear, whereas Nick Ball's fight was quite bruised. It was quite bruised. But you can't judge fights by how a boxer's face looks. And for me, you could say the right man won. I just think that the scorecards didn't really reflect how the fight went. But it's very hard to judge the judges based on that, because a lot of them close rounds, they probably gave it to Nick Ball, which then made the score look wider than it actually was. But well done, Nick Ball. Well done, Sam Goodman. I wouldn't mind seeing this again. Nick Ball is the only champion in the UK right now. And to be fair, he could have lost it. And to be fair, if he goes up against the other featherweight champions, he could come up a cropper. But we're going to go into that in another video. Right now, we're just acknowledging the fact that Nick Ball won his title defense against Sam Goodman. And for me, Sam Goodman could easily ask for a rematch and it would be justified. But as for now, I'll see you guys in the next video.